This is the Iowa Weather Report for Sunday, January 24th, 2016, and now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at noon today. We have the system that brought a bunch of snow across the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic, and into the Northeast, pulling away from there and into the North Atlantic, taking with it a lot of the clouds, the snow, and all that sort of fun fest. There'll be some blowing and drifting still over the southern parts of New England and maybe the coastline, but it'll be quieting down there. But around here, we'll see some increasing cloudiness and temperatures warming into the 30s across the state. Unfortunately, the clouds will be increasing because a storm system is approaching, and that's going to bring us some rain, some snow, maybe a little freezing rain, some sleet, about a mix of everything. It's something to talk about here, but it's nothing like the storm over the New England states and the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic that's been going on the last 24 to 36 hours. Then as that system pulls away, all the precipitation will change over to snow Monday night and early Tuesday, and then it turns colder. Temperatures back down into the 20s to around 30 for highs across the state. It's not going to be bitter cold, as this is fairly progressive. The systems are coming and going. The cold air doesn't last. The flow isn't coming straight from the north, so it's going to be progressively warming back up as we move through toward the middle and end of next week. You can see a clipper system is going to just skirt just northeast of the state, could bring an extra couple of clouds in our northeastern third of the state, but all the precipitation looks to stay up in Wisconsin. Highs will be bumping back into the 30s and maybe even the 40s, so that could start melting some of the snowpack that we have across the state. And this looks to last into the weekend as well, here being on Friday and then into Saturday. Now here on Saturday, another clipper system is coming through with a cold front. You can kind of see it across Wisconsin back into the Dakotas. You can kind of see it slowly coming through. Any precipitation looks to be very isolated and mainly in the far northeast and northeast of the state in Wisconsin. And that's going to set up with this system next Sunday. You can see it beginning to take shape out over the west. And that's going to be the storm that we'll have to watch around caucus night, Monday the 1st, and maybe Groundhog Day, Tuesday the 2nd. But on Sunday, the 31st, it's over here in California, dumping rain, mountain snow, desperately needed precipitation there. Around here, nothing's happening on Sunday in the eye of the storm, or the calm before the storm. But going further into February, long after the system that we're discussing is long since gone to our east, you can see a trough axis is just moving through or just to the east of the state. That's going to be with this cold air coming in behind this system that's going to be up into the Canadian Maritimes at this point. So depending on what happens with this storm, it could turn much colder for a few days, maybe approaching 0 again in some areas. We'll have to wait and see because it's all dependent on this storm that we've been talking about for several days. End of the forecast around the 8th or so of February. You see a system moving across the Canadian prairie provinces, another over the south and east, but it's pretty much west to east, and with that, that keeps our temperatures up, maybe about 5 to 10 plus degrees above seasonal levels, mainly in the 30s or so, maybe a few 40s, but it's all very dependent on how much snow we have on the ground and if this is correct. Satellite image from last evening looks to be very correct, with this storm system just about to move offshore across southern New England, the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic, with lots of snow in the areas from Virginia upwards to southern New England, and the system off to our west producing a couple winter weather advisories out there, Colorado, Utah, and up into Montana. Winter weather issues continue over the Carolinas and up to the north and east. Some frost and freeze conditions over southern Alabama, Georgia, down well into Florida. QPF chart through Thursday evening at 6 o'clock shows some of the precipitation around here, maybe about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. Heaviest over the south and east with another storm system, and across the northwest as well, where they could get quite a bit of precipitation there.